We've all heard the term that in order to be successful, do the opposite of what everyone else is doing. Yeah, because I've told you that. And in today's episode, we're going to teach you a concept called TMA, Tactical Marketing Automation. And this is coming from my guest, Nick Runyon. I won't tell you all the secrets and all the strategies of how this works, but Nick will. Let's dive in. Hey, everyone. Welcome to another great episode of the Sales Evangelist Podcast here on TSE TV. I'm your host, Donald Kelly, the Sales Evangelist. And I'm so excited for another great episode. I'm so excited to be here with you today. And you know, I love the idea of standing out from the pack. And my guest today is going to tell us how he's doing that. His name is Nick Runyon. The concept here is very simple. Utilize digital media as well as physical asset and use this in combination to be able to, improve your campaigns and to increase sales. Nick is going to break all of this down. He's a CMO at a company called PFL, and he'll give you a little bit more about his organization as well and how effective they are and how this strategy is working for them and their clients. I won't take away too much of his thunder. We'll go ahead and dive straight into the episode. Welcome to the show, Nick.
Thank you. Good to be here, Donald.
Man, I'm excited to have you. And I was bragging about you at the beginning of the episode here, talking about the good stuff that we're going to be talking about, especially when it comes to our direct mail and how we could take advantage of that and some of the ideas with it. But before we dive into all the fun stuff, man, why don't you tell us a little bit more about you and what you do, Nick?
I love all things marketing, and I think I always have. At a young age, I figured out that I could get paid to promote my parents' business. And then I figured out that there's other small business owners just in my friends network, and their parents would pay me as well. And from that point forward, I've always been really just kind of fascinated at how you take solutions and match them with people that have problems or, opportunities that they're looking to take advantage of. And so I've been doing that for about, I guess, a little more than 15 years now, heavily in the digital space, early in mobile media buying, mobile advertising, and now in the last 10 months as the CMO with PFL.
Man, congratulations on that. That sounds pretty darn good there.
Thanks.
Some good stuff happening. Well, this is why you'll be great for this episode, because not only do you come with the passion from an early childhood age, but all the way to the time where you've done it, you practice this stuff, and then now you're in a CMO position where you can, give some more critical and direct insights that might help our team of sales reps who are listening to this. So the first thing we want to talk about, just dive right into it. We want to do some clarifications here and some definitions. When we talk about direct mail, what exactly your definition of that, so sales reps who are listening to this can understand?
Yeah, I think, traditionally direct mail has been, form letters, solicitations. Think about, your mailbox at Christmas time and you get all of the, everybody sending you a donation request kind of thing. That's what I've traditionally considered direct mail to be. But in reality, there's a full spectrum. So it can be, postcards, envelopes, flat mailer type of things, all the way up to, we created just last month a customized, fully branded wooden box.
What?
That inside that crate, you open it up and it has this personalized experience where it was like for top performers or top prospects. Yeti makes these giant growler kind of things, like a big 1 or 2 gallon tub. It's that with some personalized drinkware and some marketing messaging. I mean, that's direct mail. People call that dimensional mail. We call it tactile marketing. You can touch and feel it. So it's a full spectrum, and really, there's a lot of creative license that can be taken within that spectrum, which we find pretty exciting. It's fun to dream up some of that stuff.
I mean, yeah, the first part. I mean, I'm thinking we've always shared this on a podcast. In order to be successful, do the opposite of what everyone else is doing, and a lot of people don't take advantage of the opportunity to personalize something towards someone that deep. It's kind of like you call them, wham bam, they didn't answer, move on to the next one. But if somebody can be a really good client, why not put your best foot forward? If you spend, let's just be crazy. Let's say you spend $100 on a lead, so to speak. on that for that prospect, and that converts, and you're making, $30,000 from it, I think that's definitely worth it.
Let me tell you a story about where this kind of came together for
Sure.
me, and I'll try to make it brief.
It's a
Before
podcast, man. You ain't got to be brief. Come on, man.
Okay, all right. Well, I was the COO for a nonprofit, and we have our donor strategy, which included a major donor element, and we were in the digital outreach space was where my nonprofit was playing, and so there was a person. Privacy is a big deal, so I'm gonna
Please, yeah.
gonna try to anonymize this, but this gentleman lived in another country. We knew that he had a portfolio of assets and that he had an interest in our mission that aligned really nicely with what it was that we were trying to do. If I could just get 5 minutes with this gentleman, I knew that we could move our mission forward. The problem was, like most, billionaires, very, very difficult to get in touch with, very difficult to find any information on. The only thing I had was a single magazine article that he had given, like in a local magazine, it wasn't even anything widely published. But in that magazine, it said, in this town, in his office on the 27th floor, and mentioned, Dr. Livingston, the whole, I think he was a doctor and missionary in Africa, like way, way back in the day.
Sure.
There was a biography from that doctor on his desk. So, okay, now I know city, I know name, I know he's on the 27th floor, and I know that there's an interest in, Dr. Livingston. So, in this city, I looked up how many buildings have 27 floors or more, and there were only 6. So I started calling around to the security desk, and I'm asking for this gentleman's office. And on my 4th phone call, they said, "Oh yeah, I'll transfer you, but you have the company name wrong. It's this shell company, is the name of the thing." So I get to the receptionist. They transfer me to the receptionist, and I say, "I'm sending this man a package. I just want to confirm the address. This is what I have. Is that correct?" And I didn't have anything. It was the wrong address. She's like, "No, it needs to be this address." I said, "Great." So I buy a first edition copy of this book that he had an interest in. It cost me $400 something. I wrote him a personal, handwritten note, put it in a FedEx box because FedEx gives you delivery notifications and all these things. So I send it off and I wait, and I'm hitting refresh on the button on the delivery day. I see that it's been delivered. I know that when that box gets delivered, it goes to his desk.
Yeah.
And I wait 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and then I make a phone call. And guess what? I get a connection. I say, "I just want 5 minutes. I just want to introduce myself and what we're doing." He invites me up for lunch. We spent a full day together, and it was a great relationship builder. Yeah, that's the power of direct mail. It buys you a moment of attention, and plus the FedEx notification. I knew exactly when to call.
Yeah.
But I did that 10 years ago. So when I started looking at PFL and what they're doing to coordinate direct mail and digital marketing for this overall remarkable brand experience, I had that in my background. I was like, "Oh, I see exactly how this works, and I know it's incredibly powerful."
Nick, why? Why did it work then? Why is it working now? Because this is the 2nd episode I'm doing within this year with a company, 3rd, that are seeing an insurgent or renaissance with the direct mail approach, and all spoke on different angles. But I want to know your reasons. Why is it so becoming this excitement right now?
Donald, I think people want to be known. I think they want to know that they matter, and there's an opportunity to go beyond simple marketing automation. You and I both know when we get certain emails or LinkedIn messages or whatever the case may be that this is automated. Yep. I can just feel it, I think
I can start smelling them now, and it's digital, so I can smell. It's like, marketing.
Man, I wear out my block sender button on my email, and I think a lot of people do. Um, there's so much. There's so much coming at us. I've got webinar opportunities. I've got a calendar full of Zoom meetings, and I think this medium is great. There's so much digital clutter coming at us. I think that direct mail isn't in and of itself like any magical piece, but I think when all of those pieces are orchestrated in a way that communicates to the person, to the prospect, to the customer, that I care, that I've got a value proposition that meets a need that you have, that's what we're all looking for. I'm sifting my inbox. I'm sifting my day on. So I start in the morning by writing down like, what's my top 3 goals? What do I need to get done today? Anything that helps move those forward, I'm into. There you go. Yeah, you've got bigger markers on your note. I like it. Um, anything that moves that forward, I will give my time and attention to. Anything that doesn't is a distraction. And direct mail gets delivered to a person.
Yeah.
I've got 100% open rate for boxes that hit my doorstep.
Bro, who wouldn't? Especially in the age of Amazon, I'm opening up everything, man.
Yeah, absolutely. I get home today. There's a box on that was delivered by Amazon. My kids are excited to see what's inside it. They've been waiting all day to see what's inside this thing. I open it up and it's toothpaste or something stupid, but 100% open rate. And so I can capture that moment in time, and I can communicate, I've got something to offer you that's valuable. It's going to help you win on the things that you care about. I'm a big marketing fan of creating delivering that solution to your problems. Right now, direct mail is being incredibly effective at doing that and creating that moment in time where we can start a conversation, because it cuts through everything else and I can engage with.
It is, and especially right now, I think when I was just watching a program yesterday on History Channel, my wife and I were just chilling, and it's the defining moments in America, and it's a 3-part series, and they kind of broke up American history in that 3-part, and one of the parts, the initial part, when they're talking about expanding west, getting beyond Mississippi, and I mean getting beyond the 13 original colony, that was like huge then. And it was just like a land grab, so to speak. And I imagine it's kind of like that same idea right now, where so many people are so hunkered down on what they know and not being willing to try something new. But let's say I'm a CMO listening to this, or I'm a sales leader listening to this, and I'm thinking about it, but I'm like, I know what works. If I send 1,000 emails, I know my sales rep, 2% of them are going to get an appointment. So I can stay with that. What is the flaw with that thinking? And then can you then answer 2 questions? The second part, how do I then transition where I can still measure and still be effective with direct mail? Am I making sense on that?
Yeah, absolutely. And I will say, I don't think the thinking's flawed, but I think that it needs to take a step forward. So I mentioned at the top of the show, I've done digital marketing for years. We are dealing with fractions of percentages. Can I get a bump? Can I get half a point in click-through rate? Can I get 2 points in conversion rate? If I tweak this headline, do I get this much in my open rates? When what we're seeing is, about 5 years ago, PFL really created this category of tactile marketing automation.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just explain what that means in our view. It's the coordination, the personalized orchestration of your digital and your tactile efforts together.
Okay.
So we see email response rates delivering, half a point to 1%, 2% if you're lucky and really good. Direct mail shows a little bit higher, because I think there is that attention moment where it's like either it's a letter or a box that, traditionally we see that somewhere between 2 and 4%. Tactile marketing automation, coordinating those efforts together, and then timing the delivery with that piece with a well-placed, timely phone call. The package is personalized to you because I'm using your digital marketers, digital signals from my workflows to understand what the content and the timing of that piece should be. When I automate those things, we're talking about orders of magnitude difference. We're seeing 20% response rates
Wow.
on these. So I think that thinking is not necessarily flawed. Like if I send out 10,000 emails or whatever, like this is what I'm going to get. That's the predictability that everybody wants. But what we're seeing now is that when those efforts are coordinated and worked in a timely way, presenting value, you can capture that moment in time of a person's attention and then really move the conversation forward. So I think that's the transition that needs to take place, is stepping back and saying, okay, if I want to create a customer journey, a buyer journey, how do I really need to craft this in a way that fits all the pieces together to accomplish what it is that I'm trying to drive?
Interesting. So yeah, it's adding into that into that repertoire, because yeah, I mean the email is not going to go out the way. Your phone, you're still going to use the phone. You still call after you send that $400 book, and you still need the basic things. You still need the LinkedIn connections and all of that. But it's in addition. But how do I get started? Let's say if I'm a traditionalist and this is the way that I've done, but I listened to this episode and I heard this guy named Nick and he converted me to this idea of investigating this avenue. How could I get started as a sales leader in such a realm? What is the first thing that you would do if you're in that situation?
Well, you're setting me up. And I'm the CMO. I gotta plug PFL. So I would say call PFL. PFL.com.
PFL.com. It's in our show notes, and if you're watching on YouTube, you just scroll down and click on PFL.com. We'll definitely give you a shout out.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I'll tell you this. If you call our team, if you are fit for PFL or not, you're going to come away with a greater understanding and some valuable information about how we are coordinating these things and what some of our insights and takeaways are from serving some of the largest brands in the world with this strategy. That tactile marketing automation, that coordination where we fit, there's some tech requirements to what I'm talking about. Like we fit into Salesforce or Oracle, your CRM and your marketing automation platform. Our software integrates with that to make that digital signal leveraging possible. But I think there's some things that can be done even if your listeners don't have that level of tech stack already implemented within their organization. And some of those things that apply in either case would be, I think, starts with an identification of your ideal customer profile. Mm-hmm. The thing about digital that I think we've gotten really familiar with and really dependent upon is that I've got precise targeting, I've got a low cost per click, or a low CPM, and it's certainly budgetable and manageable. And I've got like a great level of detail over my control for those channels. Direct mail, by comparison, can be a bit more expensive. And so if you're making that expense, it's not a batch and blast. This is not like I just need a platform to send things. It's not about sending. We want to help people go beyond the send and really create something that is personalized, valuable, timely, intentional. And that's where the coordination comes in. You can do that on a small scale without software enablement. But I think it starts with identifying who is your ideal customer profile. So I mentioned I came into PFL about 10 months ago, and I just really looked at our revenues, our customer base, and I said 64% of our revenue is coming from this segment of our customer base, but 100% of our time is spent across the board just trying to capture market share. What we did was we redefined our ideal customer profile to be brands that have this tech fit, this type of champion, this type of opportunity, these focus industries. And now we're spending 100% of our BDR and SDR activity on that profile alone. That's a first step that I think every marketer should make, because we don't have time and we don't have money to be wasting in this environment.
No, that makes total sense. And I love the definition. So now we're going to get a couple people calling out PFL, calling PFL on this. But no, you're 100% right there, identifying that ideal customer and going for it. Because I feel, again, if I'm doing everything else in my playbook may consist of doing in our playbook, and I'll just be straight up, we use LinkedIn heavily. So we do the LinkedIn connection there, and then from there we do a personalized email towards them. We take advantage of tools like video, like BombBomb, to send them a video request as well. But then adding into that, we do also we do a direct mail, and we send out something to them in a direct mail. I mean, for goodness sakes, if some of the tools like this, someone sent me this, and I use this as well, like Starbucks gift cards, where those gives us the opportunity to leverage the conversation, just to get the conversation, like you said, just give me 5 to 7 minutes, and I can share the value. But if I know those customers and I know their pains and I know those problems and I recognize that, if I can get that appointment, I know the results that can come from it. And I think the key is coming back to tools like what you guys have, to be able to track that and integrate that with the digital assets. I think it's magical, and it's fantastic, and it works together cohesively.
So after that ICP has been identified, I mean, to use your example, if you start to see that this segment of your ideal customers are engaging on LinkedIn, and then you've got this segment that's doing the video views, but you've got like a long depth of view, that segment is the one that I would begin messaging with direct mail. You see what I mean? So it's like, okay, they've already showed interest and engagement, and they're responding to our messaging. Now let's hit them through this channel and then follow up with phone call, and it just creates that space to begin to move the prospect forward.
And what I like about that is it's going from, since you're testing, you're going from the most inexpensive to the most expensive avenues, right? So it's like, I'm not just sending everyone that is on that Dream 100 list a gift in the mail. Right. I may send only 25% of those people gift in the mail, because those are ones that open my emails, that just connect with me on LinkedIn, that watch the videos 50% or more, and actually, or whatnot, and whatever the market that is, and fulfill that. So then therefore there's a chance. Yeah. But this is great. This has been awesome, man. If there's one major piece of advice you'd want folks who are listening to this episode to walk away with, what's that advice, Nick?
I would say, I'm going to make it relative direct mail. That's been the context of our conversation. It's not about sending stuff. My piece of advice would be, don't forget those traditional principles of marketing that have proven to be true over many, many generations. Product, price, person, placement, all those things still matter. They matter a lot, actually. And I think that what we see are the brands that are standing out today are the ones that are being careful to make that relevant association and delivering true value to their prospects and their customers. If I can communicate to you that I can help you win and I know how to do it, I can guide you to that path of success. It's not about me. It's not about my stuff. It's about helping you win. And then, it's a rising tide floats all boats. So I would just keep it. I'd keep it on value, and those core, 4 P's of marketing, I think they still matter.
Amen to that. If folks out there want to get in touch with you or learn about your organization, what's the best way for them to go about doing so?
Yeah, so pfl.com is our website. I think there's a lot of great information there. I'm Nick Runyon on LinkedIn, and always happy to connect there. We spend a ton of time on LinkedIn as well. I live on that probably more than any other tool. So happy to connect, share content, information, whatever can be valuable to people.
Love it, man. Well, Nick, thank you so much for coming on the show today. We appreciate you and appreciate your sound wisdom, man.
Thanks. This has been a great opportunity. Thank you for having me.
Listen, that was Nick Runyon. And if you want to go ahead and connect with Nick and learn about all the great things that he's doing and some of the great things their organization is doing and take advantage of this amazing tool, go ahead and scroll down. You're watching this here on YouTube, on TSE TV. You can see the links down below. You can also see some information in our show notes on our website at thesalesevangelist.com or at our studio, our network, tsestudios.io, and you'll get a chance to check out the sales evangelist there and find some more details. But here's the thing that I want to tell you. No matter what we share, no matter how many strategies that you learn or ideas or tactics, it does us nothing unless you take them and apply them. And that's exactly what I want you to do. I want you to apply the things that you're learning and to utilize that to help you to perform in a whole new era, and in a whole new way, and to be able to stand out. And and listen to that wonderful run-on words there. But this strategy I want you to take advantage of is to utilize the things that my friends over at Pipedrive are talking to you about. You can take advantage of Pipedrive. They typically do a 14-day trial, but for the TSE community, come on. They're like, DK, we want to help you guys out. I said, how are you going to help us out? They said, listen, we'll give you a 30-day trial. I say what? They said, yes, a 30-day trial of Pipedrive for your community just because they're TSE listeners. I was like, I'm on with that. Let's go ahead and do that. And they said, one better than that, DK. And I'm like, what's one better than that? They said, we'll give your community members, just your community members, 25% off the first 3 months. Mind blown, eyes all wide and stuff. I was like, sign me up. So I want to make sure you take advantage of it. You could test out Pipedrive, try it for 30 days, see if it's all up to the hype that I'm telling you about. And if not, then obviously no commitment, but I guarantee you're going to fall in love with it. Just use promo code PipedriveTSE at checkout. Again, PipedriveTSE at checkout. Speaking about checkout, I want you to go out and do big things, man. But before that, I want you to find more of those ideal customers. I want you to be able to know what to say to them. I want you to be able to close more deals. And obviously, go out each and every single day and do big things. Thanks so much for watching. Hey, thanks so much for taking the time to watch this video today. If you enjoyed the content, I ask you to go ahead and hit that like button, that thumbs up in the bottom right-hand corner. Also, to make sure to subscribe if you haven't done so already. This way, we'll keep you up to date with all the latest sales strategies, latest tools, and things that are going to help you to not only find more prospects, but to close more deals. Thanks so much.